The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 64. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook by visiting thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan. And today's guest, I have a phenomenal woman who's from my home country of the Philippines and in the little island of Cebu. And, she's making some great waves in such a, small country, right? The Philippines. I mean, it's a small country, but there's a ton of people. But, she has her own fabric gallery called the ANTHILL. But there's something that's, different. That's not that you won't see in most fabric galleries. So maybe without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Anya Lim. So Anya, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little more about yourself to the listeners.
Yeah, hi Sheena, and hi to all your listeners. It's really such an honor for me to be interviewed and be part of your podcast. Yep, so ANTHILL is a fabric gallery, but it is also a social and a cultural enterprise. It's actually an acronym for something that's very long, so brace yourself. It's Alternative Nest and Trading or Training Hub for Indigenous or Ingenious Little Livelihood Seekers. So a social enterprise is a for-profit organization that uses business strategies to address a social issue. And in ANTHILL particularly, we're trying to address cultural degradation as the social issue. And we do that by preserving and promoting our local weaving traditions among the younger generation by applying them into contemporary designs for everyday apparel. So to be able to also provide sustainable livelihood. So in this sense, we're not just providing sustainable employment to these weaving communities, but at the same time also promoting our weaving culture.
Awesome. I like that. This is the first time I've actually heard of ANTHILL. I didn't even know this existed in the Philippines, especially in our hometown. So, I'm really happy that you're doing this, preserving, local communities and helping, Filipino people just having, more jobs, being able to provide to their families. So, kudos to you. And what's your cultural background?
So I'm Filipino-Chinese. I was born in a small island called Legazpi, where it's known for its perfectly cone-shaped volcano. But I moved to Cebu, where we met each other when I was 6, and I grew up there. Yeah, so just that.
Awesome. Yeah. A funny thing is me and Anya actually went to the same high school in Cebu. So it's pretty cool, to see what she's doing now. And so Anya, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
It is by Dr. Seuss. Today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you.
Awesome. And I like that quote. Dr. Seuss also has a lot of good quotes that we can follow by and just live by. So thanks for sharing that. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
For me, self-confidence is really about discovering one's true identity and living your truth, like being authentic to yourself. I chanced upon the word authenticity on a silent retreat when I was 19, and it really sort of opened up so many things in my life when I became more true to myself.
Awesome. And it's really important to be true to yourself, especially when you live in the Philippines. We're always, especially as an Asian woman, Chinese Filipino communities, we're always told what to do. We're, go to school, get a job, and just get married. And, never make any noise, never do anything out of the norm because, we might put family to shame or people might think we're crazy. So, it takes a lot of courage to be true to yourself and to be authentic. So thanks for sharing that. And, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Like what you said, we grew up in a lot of wrong belief systems, and we're made to think that we should do this and we should do that and we should be perfect. So growing up, I think my greatest enemy was myself, and I'd really set such high standards for myself to follow. And when things don't go as planned, because not all your plans do come along just the way you like it, I tend to be so hard on myself, and that really pulled down my self-esteem and my self-confidence. And there's always that self-doubt, and there's always that feeling of being not good enough. Yeah, so I think for every person's journey, there's always that struggle, and yeah, that's how it was before I actually started to allow myself to be true.
Awesome. And I think, yeah, as women, we're always so hard on ourselves. If we don't, maybe reach the goal that we want, or if we only meet halfway, it's like, we failed. But really, it's still a result. A result is a result no matter what it is. It's just maybe we didn't hit that result yet. But, we have to learn how to just celebrate every success that we have. So, what was that realization when you thought, you are good, more than enough to do anything you want, and you had that self-confidence inside you to go do the things that you wanted?
I think it helps a lot when you have like life mentors at different stages in your life. Like it's actually good what you're doing for your listeners. It really helps to listen to other people's stories, and I think that was my big aha moment when some of my mentors would really validate my weaknesses at the same time my strengths, and allowed me to embrace all of that in me. And they would always emphasize on like trusting the process that you go through, and just really have a heightened sense of awareness about every little thing that happens in your life, and so you discover more about yourself. So in that journey, along that journey, I discovered so much about what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and felt comfortable with it. Like I was content with what I have and what I don't have, and that my limitations actually opened doors for me to reach out to more people, or to learn other new skills, or to improve myself. So it was really all about being empowered to realize that it's okay to not have everything, or it's okay to just go along with the flow and trust the process.
I like that. And it's true, right? Sometimes we get stressed if we don't have the results. And then if we're not seeing what we have, it's like, oh my God, it's not working. I'm a failure.
Yeah.
And, as women too, we want to be able to do everything right and be perfect, right? And, I've learned a long time ago, there's no such thing as perfection, right? We just focus on what we're good at. And like you said, whatever we're not good at, then we seek the right people to help us in that area, right? So I'm really glad that you were able to realize that. And, what's your life like now after that realization?
I think when you sort of embrace who you really are, and you find something that you really are passionate about, you strengthen your core, and you strengthen your why, like the reason why you do things, and you're more mindful with what you do. And when that happens, you sort of like naturally love what you do, or you choose to do something because it's something that gives you joy. And when people see that you're so happy about something, or you're so passionate about something, and they see you so alive, naturally it resonates to them, and you attract all these positive energy. And that's just what happened to me. I feel like I gained my confidence right after finishing my master's degree. And when I came back home to Cebu, and I was more confident about my path, I was more confident about what I was doing. Naturally, it drew people to be more supportive of ANTHILL. Not just ANTHILL, but also all the advocacies I have, all the projects I have, and be affirming of me at the same time, also be genuine to me when they relate to me. So that really was life-changing, and you feel that sense of calmness because everything is falling into place.
Awesome. And I like that. I'm sure, ANTHILL, I've seen, a little bit about ANTHILL, and it looks like it's just taking off. I'm just so proud that, someone from the Philippines, and someone, being able to get over their confidence issues and have a purpose in life, helping, local communities, bring life back into them too. It's just such a life-changing experience. And I'm sure, a lot of people are drawn to you now and want to be able to partner up with you because of that cause.
Thank you. Yeah, but I think every woman should enjoy the journey in discovering so much about themselves, and really build up their build up their self-confidence.
I totally agree. I mean, the journey is the most important part of this whole thing, right? Just being in that journey, not just because you find so much more about yourself, you find things that you never thought you were capable of doing. And sometimes you might need to take that road by yourself, right? And there's nothing wrong with that, because you have to to realize your true power. So
yeah, no, I was just gonna say sometimes in your solitude, that's when you actually discover so much more about yourself. And yeah, it's sometimes actually healthier to journey on your own because then you discover so much more about what you can do.
I totally agree with you on that. Some people just can't picture themselves doing things by themselves, like traveling by themselves, or even just like going to eat out or go to the movies. But it's just something that you need to practice to be comfortable with yourself, so you can gain that self-confidence. So thanks for sharing that. And Anya, to the woman who's listening to this episode, she's inspired. She wants to be in her own journey of self-confidence, and she's not too sure how to go about it. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
I'm a big advocate of self-love, so I would tell all the women listening now, especially the younger generation of women, to really spend time and invest in yourself. That's the best investment you could ever give yourself. Like, nurture yourself to gain confidence, and don't feel guilty when you indulge yourself, when you indulge in nurturing your soul.
I love that. It's true. There's nothing wrong with loving yourself first. You have to love yourself first before you can attract the kind of love that you want. And, I know a lot of women out there, they might think that might sound selfish, but there's times in your life when you have to be a little bit selfish and do the things for yourself. If you want to go get a mani-pedi, go get that mani-pedi, right?
Exactly.
So, thanks for sharing that. And Anya, if the listeners want to get to know a little bit more about you and your causes and more about ANTHILL, is there any websites or social media profiles we can connect with?
Yeah, we're still working on our website, but you can check anthillfabricgallery.com. We also have an Instagram and a Facebook account at ANTHILL Fabric Gallery. And yeah, find something from the Philippines that you probably would want to wear with pride.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to check that out. And to the listeners out there, if you're looking to shop for new gifts or, something for yourself, like we saw, self-love, check out ANTHILLfabricgallery.com, or you can head on to thetowofselfconfidence.com and search for Anya's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about in today's episode. And I really just want to thank Anya for taking the time to do this. I know she's a busy girl. She has a lot of projects lined up for her, all for a good cause. So Anya, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheena. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking to you and reconnecting with you.
Awesome, for sure. And to the listeners out there, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. We will talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Subscribe to The Tao of Self-Confidence on iTunes and Stitcher to hear more stories of amazing women finding their inner journey to self-confidence.